Hey, welcome to Crafty Music Tips. My name's Crafty. I'm a full-time musician and I've decided to do a reaction video to some early Led Zeppelin. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Yeah, kids and audience, just let's all join hands and sit into a little circle. Yeah, communication breakdown.
Hey girl, stop what you're doing. Hey girl, you drive me to ruin. I don't know what it is about you that I like such a lot, but I know, baby, that you got a lot, and that's what I want. Communication breakdown, it's always the same. Having a nervous breakdown drive me insane.
Oh man, this is awesome. So I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan and I have seen this footage quite a while ago, but it's nice to revisit. It's nice to see that, you've got probably one of the first bands to really become quite a stadium band, I guess. And they're on such a small little stage area. I mean, there isn't even a stage. Bonham's got a little riser there at least, which is something, but it's just such a small little space. And so I'm kind of drooling, not literally necessarily, but wow, that would have been awesome to have been there.
Get me a towel.
And yeah, first off the bat, I can hear Robert Plant always having some artistic expression with the always evolving, changing melodical structure of his phrasing. It's nice to hear. I don't know about yourself, but sometimes it's a bit like, oh man, it's different. It's not the same melody that I'm used to, but Robert Plant's a master of just giving you countless versions of the same song. So I kind of feel like, well, all right, I get a bonus. I get a new version.
Hey girl, I got something you ought to know. Hey baby, I wanna tell you that I love you so.
Yeah, how's that telecast of the psychedelic one of Jimmy Page's?
I wanna hold you in my arms, yeah. I'm never gonna let you go, 'cause I like your charm. Communication breakdown, it's a
Those kids, they're mesmerized. They're like, whoa, what is even going on?
I have no idea what's going on.
having a nervous breakdown, drive me insane.
Now, one interesting thing, it sounds like Jimmy Page is using a wah-wah pedal. It's a pity that we can't see it because of the tight frame that he's got on himself there with the camera. But hey, it sounds pretty cool. Maybe we'll be able to see it in a moment. Yeah, live version.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. I love that live ending, that little extra bit at the end. It's a pity it's not on the original, but I guess it makes sense. I'm assuming that they would have thought of Communication Breakdown as some sort of a single and wanted the amount of time, the song duration, to be shorter perhaps, or maybe they realized that if they wanted all of a certain amount of songs to fit on one side of a vinyl, that something had to go, and so they probably wouldn't have wanted to have cut Dazed and Confused. They probably wanted that to be long and epic. And speaking of Dazed and Confused, how on it is John Paul Jones, knowing that, like, oh, okay, well, this is awkward because they haven't screamed applause straight away at our awesome rock ending that's one of those quick snappy endings. So I guess, well, what do? Boom, straight into the next song.
This is a number called Dazed and Confused.
Now, I like Robert Plant's choice of words. Here's a number called Dazed and Confused, like as if, you know, the classic iconic song Dazed and Confused is it's just a little number, which, yeah, and the term number referring to a song as here's a number, here's a song, it hasn't lasted, not in my awareness as much, at least anyway.
I've been dazed and confused so long it's not true. I wanted a woman, never bargained for you. Sweet little baby, say what you will. Tongue back so much when I send you the bill.
Yeah, how are those triplets?
You had an abuse, telling all of your lies. Sweet little baby, how you hypnotize.
Whew, all right, there's a lot to take in here. So let's just look at Robert Plant. Like, his appearance is, it's pretty much of that time, of the late 60s. It was that transition from the 60s to the 70s when guys having super long hair was more a trend. And let's face it, even in this really early stage of Led Zeppelin's career, they're superstars already. You know, at that point, they hadn't become such a household name worldwide yet, but they're good enough. They've got the songs, they've got the look, they've got the sound. And so the reason why we know them today as these rock gods is because what they were embarking on already, which is getting their name out there, getting their faces out there, getting their music out there to as many different people far and wide that they could. And if you're an upcoming musician yourself feeling like, yeah, I would love to be able to get some recognition for my art, well, that's the way to do it. Follow Led Zeppelin, follow other classic acts that have a story to tell and figure out, well, what did they do and how can I do my version of that? Led Zeppelin did a lot of rehearsals and performing, but as a band, they were already good in their very first rehearsal. There's a story where they got together and rehearsed for the first time, and at the end of the first song, they kind of felt this like, wow, this is really good, and they were kind of trying to hold back the grins of like, wow, this is really good. And so how did they get that good before their very first rehearsal? Well, I can only imagine a bajillion amount of hours. That's right, that technical word there, a bajillion. I don't know how many a bajillion is, but God, like, if you're going to be that good, it doesn't just accidentally happen by fluke. Now, let's look at Jimmy Page, for instance. He was already good at such a young age, and he befriended a guy called John Paul Jones by being that good that, like, well, they were both that good. They were session musicians. And if you're a session musician, you have to be at least at a really good level on your instrument in order to be asked to come in and play a session, because you're expected to be that good that without any kind of notice that you're able to just play certain high levels of stuff just at the drop of a hat like that. And so they met each other like that, and they were already that good. And they were really fortunate to come across Robert Plant and John Bonham, who had their huge amount of time, their huge amount of experience themselves in the live gigging scene. And of course, they would have had to have done a hell of a lot of practice themselves individually. And so then you put that all together, that's where the magic really happened from.
I got no words.
Yes, the bow. I personally will never get tired of hearing call and response between two different instruments or a vocalist and an instrument. Why don't I get tired of it? Well, there's something that's really universal that just speaks to me about when instruments and vocals, whether it's vocals or just instruments, and it's like that they're communicating to each other. And I said it speaks to me. It's because I kind of feel like that I'm getting let in on a conversation. I don't know what the exact words are, but there's definitely hi, how you going? Yeah, not bad. Go, that type of thing. They're just communicating with each other. Even though Robert Plant mainly is just mimicking what Jimmy Page is playing on the guitar with the bow, it still is just, it just speaks to me. Oh, I'm afraid for Jimmy Page. He's doing this thing that I can't stand if you've seen my other video, which is that he's got his guitar lead plugged in. It's kind of naked, you know. And I don't know if John Paul Jones is necessarily doing that, but you could just see him there. You know, he was yanking at his lead, and I just have experienced that where instead of having the lead going through the strap so that it's safe, it has, sadly for me, it's come out, you know, mid-song. And so I get it. Yes, who am I to suggest that the great Jimmy Page do something different? But I just personally recommend, you know, if you're going to be playing electric guitar on stage and especially moving around the stage, just be safe. Have that lead plugged into your guitar but going through the strap just to be safe so it doesn't potentially come out uncontrollably mid-song, mid-performance. Now, I don't know if you've seen this performance before. I'm definitely going to watch the rest of it myself, but I reckon that my reaction here is done for this video. I feel like that, you know, there's so much to learn about seeing really successful people in their earlier incarnations because, you know, they don't have a really big stage and all of the fancy lights and, you know, a stadium full of people watching them here in this performance. And it's such a pleasure to be able to see that they're still awesome. They don't need all of those fancy things. And so if you're thinking to yourself, all right, as a performer, either by myself or in a band, and what I need is really fancy stuff in order to be able to appear like I'm successful. Well, you know, people can hear and see through a fancy presentation. You know, are your songs good? Do you sing good? Do you play good? They're really the crux of what is really important to be a successful musician. And it's clear as day for me to see right now that Led Zeppelin in their earlier stages, they already had that. And so it's a no-brainer why they became so much more successful as time went on.
Every time we say goodbye, I die a little.
Okay, so there you have it. There is yet another reaction video that I've gone through on this channel. I hope that you got something out of it. Did you learn anything? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you found this video at all interesting, I do have a bunch of other ones on this channel and a bunch of other general music tips videos that you can check out. And if that's still not enough, I have a parting gift to offer you. It's called 5 Steps to Fast Improvement. Basically, if you're anything like me, where you felt like I'm just chasing my tail, I'm really not improving at the rate that I would like to at whatever it is, what I do in this free ebook download is I just lay out the 5 steps to make it really clear in your mind so that you're not feeling like you're chasing your tail. You've got a sense of direction and it's just laid out for you. So you just have to follow it. You just have to do the stuff that's in the ebook, and then you'll be able to feel like that you're improving at the rate that you want. So if that sounds like something that would be helpful for you, I'll leave a link below. Go download it. I reckon that's it for yet another reaction video. My name is Crafty. I'll see you in another music tips related video really soon. Wherever you are, I hope it's rocking. Take care.